What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna work on the white CRX a little bit more because we are still trying to get it prepped for Race Wars. Race Wars out here is gonna be in Sacramento August 18th and 19th, which is a Friday and Saturday, and we're gonna be out there both days with the family S1BUILT. If you guys saw the dyno video, I mentioned that we didn't get the CRX on the dyno because I had a lot of mishaps the night before and we couldn't get it ready in time to take it to the dyno to get tuned. So the car, whether it gets tuned or not tuned, we're still going to take it over to Race Wars because the car is just going to be on display only. We're not racing it. I'm probably going to be driving different cars anyways, so my goal is to still try to finish up the rest of the car. So in today's video, to make the car officially four-wheel drive, I'm going to be installing the viscous coupler and the drive shaft. This right here is all of the hardware for the viscous coupler, and big shout out to the homie Leo for hooking this up when he found this in the junkyard. He provided this Freelander drive shaft that we traded parts for, and we also used the same one in the red all-wheel drive CRX. So I kind of already shown you guys how I went about to installing this viscous coupler and the drive shaft into the car. So I'm not really going to show you guys a much more thorough installation in this video. So be sure to check the link in the description below to refer back to the Freelander drive shaft installation on the red all-wheel drive car. Huge shout out to the fam S1BUILT for sending out the drive shaft. I sent them a measurement and they knocked it out of the park and got the drive shaft on the way like ASAP. So we're gonna be opening this up right now to show you guys what it looks like, and if you guys are interested in something like it, be sure to hit the link in the description below as well and use discount code YStatic to save some money on your order. Cut away from yourself. Pretty dull. Not towards yourself. Very beautiful packaging. This ensures the items are going to make it to its destination without getting damaged. This right here is the stage 1 Freelander drive shaft, and the stage 1 is pretty much the stock size tubing, not the 3-inch version. It does have the factory joint that goes to the viscous coupler, and then it has the 1310 joint on the opposite end, so you don't have to use the adapter. This right here is the front shaft, also has the factory rear joint and has the 1310 upgraded flange with the slip yoke. You need the slip yoke to allow some engine movement, because last time we did a solid drive shaft on the Freelander, we destroyed the rear diff. But shout out to S1BUILT because they also added this little custom touch to the drive shaft. That is literally me, and it's got the Bone Thug beanie and everything, dude. This is so cool, man. Big shout out to S1BUILT. So this is what we're gonna be installing today, guys. Front rear drive shaft viscous coupler mounted into the car to officially make the car four-wheel drive. If you're interested in any S1 products, be sure to hit the link in the description below and use discount code YStatic to save a couple of bucks off your order. So with that being said, let's get to work. All right, guys, so we lost a lot of daylight here, but I was procrastinating all day. But we have the mounts for the Vistas coupler all bent up into place. Now all the joints that I cut right here all needs to be welded back together for strength, and we're going to continue tomorrow because I still have to cut the plate that goes inside of the car. We have to pull the carpet out, make some holes, put some bolts through. This is the same design in my red car, and the red car was working flawlessly, so I'm pretty happy about it. Everything seems to be pretty tight knit here, so we'll continue tomorrow with the top end of the bracketry, and hopefully we can button this up. All right, guys, so next day here, and I cut off the plates that I'm gonna need, that it's gonna go inside the car underneath the carpet to clamp these brackets down. I already pulled these back off the car. I'm gonna be welding some bolts onto the top bracket just so that you don't have to go inside the car to hold the bolt every single time you want to remove the Vistas coupler. Instead, it's just going to stay in a place because there's going to be two of them, so there's no spinning. And I'm just going to weld these bolts, just tack them down probably on two sides, and then once we get all of these situated, we'll go back underneath the car to mount this back up, drill the hole into the floorboard, and then put the plates inside the car. I'm gonna put you guys up high right here. I've made a mistake of putting the GoPro too close to the welding, and all the weld flash messes up the lens. Putting these bolts two at a time just so I don't have to take on and off a million times. There we go. 3 more to go. Let's weld the slits on the Vistas coupler bracket, so that way this is nice and sturdy. We got 4 on each bracket. Let's get it done. Might be a little hard to see this, but I took out the driver's side seat and I already drilled the holes underneath the chassis. And where's it at? You can see the 2 holes right here. The 2 holes right there is for this top plate with the 2 bolts, and I did mark it as well. Driver's side, 4-inch plate in the rear and 5 in the front, so that's how I deterred it. But pretty much this just goes in there, and hopefully the hole's big enough to have the 14 go right through, and it kind of does. All right, I don't know if you guys can see it once again. Yeah, you can't even see it. Take you guys underneath here real quick, and you can see the bolts right there. It's not all the way down, so hopefully we can get it down enough so we can get some threads on here. But yeah, that's pretty much how these plates are going to go on. We're losing daylight again, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same for all 4 sides and get this mount fully secured. Guys, I have my interior all put back together, carpet and everything is all back into place, and the viscous coupler mount fully installed. Now this took a little while, only because I was literally measuring about 1,000 times just to make sure the drive shaft is nice and straight to my eyes. I wish I had gotten 2 more of these 6-ton jack stands so I can bring it up really higher so I can see it much clearer. These jack stands are maxed out in the back, while the front hasn't even gone up a click. But the viscous coupler mount is fully installed. Now there's a few more things I want to change underneath here at a later time, and one of it is, I don't know if I can get you guys straight enough to see this, but if you look at this mount, it is kind of tilted upward, and the reason for that is because underneath the frame here is all wavy, and I try to space it out to get this to bend back straight, but I'm gonna have to add more spacers like I did my red all-wheel drive car. But aside from that, the drive shaft is straight. It's just, you can see right here the bushing is kind of crooked, right? I'm gonna hold it right here so you can see the bushing is a little slanted, but the drive shaft is still straight. The front, I need to space out the front just a smidge because it is a lot higher than the rear, and the viscous coupler is actually going up and then back down. Now I'm sure it's lesser than 15 degrees, which you can have a little angle in your drive shaft, but the goal is to have it as straight as possible. This is not a big issue because the red all-wheel drive CRX was kind of like this as well too, and when I spaced it out, everything was all Gucci. But aside from this, it should work and function like it should. Drive shaft, viscous coupler fully installed. Shout out to S1BUILT for getting this drive shaft perfect on here. It's not too late right now, but I feel like I want to turn the car on and stick it in first gear and see all 4 wheels spin. So let me try to get this thing all batteried up so it can fire it over. Yeah, a lot more to button up with the engine because it has a hard time staying on, but once it's warmed up, it's Gucci. But you guys saw all 4 wheels is spinning, and all that vibration, all that shaking is just the engine rocking really hard to stay idle. But the car is officially full-wheel drive. I'm super stoked that we got the drive shaft and the viscous coupler installed into the car. I definitely still want to put an exhaust on this car, but the more and more I was underneath the car to figure out how I was going to route everything, I think I'm just going to do a mid-pipe. Mid-pipe meaning I'm not going to go fully to the back. I think I'm just going to add a section from the downpipe before the first viscous coupler mount and just do a turn down right there. I already have a section. Actually, let me show you guys real quick. So I have this piece right here. Shout out to the homie Higgins Built. This came off his hatchback. It's 2 resonator that he used on his all-motor car, which was crazy loud because we're talking about a built motor that's breathing heavy, and he didn't really have a muffler in his car. Now, all motor needs a muffler to quiet down, but for a turbo car, resonators will do the job perfectly well. And what I want to do is I want to add this right after the downpipe, except I want to add a V-band here instead of welding it directly on, so that way it's easily removable. But I want to turn it down right underneath the car right after the shifter, so I'm probably gonna try to do that sometimes later this week, but I think that's gonna be our game plan for the exhaust system. Hopefully this is not as loud as the open downpipe that's currently on the car, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. I'm gonna leave the car on jack stands because I think tomorrow I'm gonna be color sanding the driver's side and then polishing the entire car so we can start putting all of the trims and molding back onto it to make it that much more complete. So with it being on jack stands, it's going to be easier for me to sit on my little midget chair and sand the car down instead of bending over or on my ergoneal. But I think that's what we're gonna be doing tomorrow. Big shout out to S1BUILT once again. Shout out to fam out there in Florida for taking the measurements, making the drive shaft, and having it shipped over ASAP so we can get this thing ready for Race Wars. If you guys are interested in any S1 products or even wanted to go all-wheel drive, be sure to hit the link in the description below. If you guys are interested in buying anything, be sure to use discount code YSTAT to save a couple of bucks off your order. But I am going to wrap up this video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this progress update on the H2B CRX. If you guys did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for more shenanigans with this car, Race Weeks is a week away. So we're going to be steady making progress on this car this following week just so we can make it in time. If you guys want to stick around and see all that, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.